Hey, I'm Trevor Jacuti, and today I want to talk to you about how you can use your smart device to improve your sleep quality and your nighttime wind down routine in order to maximize the quality of sleep you're getting and your health. Before we get into that, guys, if you love our information, please slap the like button and share our material. It's the easiest way for you to say thank you for the information that we get out to you, and also allow us to get information out to everyone else really quickly. So thank you for doing that. Please do that now. All right, so what am I talking about with these devices? Well, what I'm talking about is whether you've got an iWatch, maybe you've got a Samsung Galaxy Watch, maybe you've got an Oura Ring, or perhaps you've got a Whoop device, something similar to that. What we're really talking about is something that's measuring your data overnight, and that might be heart rate variability, pulse, blood oxygen levels. These devices can measure so many things now overnight, it's pretty incredible. All right, so the one I really want to talk to you about for now is heart rate, because this is really important to understand. We can get so much information off our heart rate. So for example, if you're a cyclist or a runner or someone who does a lot of sport, resting heart rate overnight can tell you whether you're potentially overtraining, pushing your system too hard, or whether it's time to wind back. And that's just one example of how heart rate is being used for decades already. But what I want to talk to you about is patterns that we've observed over the years with people using devices here. And the most important one I want to talk about is the pattern overnight, the general pattern from when you go to bed to when you wake up in the morning. So when we look at heart rate overnight and that stored data, this is roughly the pattern we should be seeing, like a smiley face. So from the time we go to bed, we should find the heart rate comes down, and this has a lot to do with the fact that our sympathetic, our flight or fight nervous system calms down. And as our flight and fight centers wind down, our vagal tone picks up as we start changing our breathing patterns, GABA levels come up in these areas, and the result of that is our heart rate drops, and that keeps coming down. And it should continue to come down until a specific hormone called melatonin really reaches its peak around 2 a.m. And melatonin has a very calming effect on the brain. It's a very potent antioxidant, and also negates the effect of our stress hormones quite significantly, especially in the periphery. So melatonin is a really important hormone for brain health. So what we should be seeing is somewhere in the order of about 2 to 4 o'clock in the morning, we should be seeing our heart rate at our lowest point. Once we cross that, what we should see is that the heart rate starts increasing again. So we should have a smiley face. And this is really the appearance that we should be seeing. So even if you have something like an iWatch or a Samsung Galaxy Watch, if you set it to just take your heart rate every hour, it can give us this type of pattern just with a few dots. Very easy to read, very easy to see. Probably the most common pattern we see though in people is a pattern that looks something like this. Okay, and what we're really seeing is that from the moment people go to bed, the heart rate just keeps dropping until they wake in the morning. And this pattern is one that we've regularly observed, especially with people who are suffering from neural excitation problems. So things like migraine, TMJ problems, balance issues, these type of things, these stress-related disorders. And the big part of it appears to be the melatonin just not getting up overnight. That seems to be what we've observed. And the main reason that occurs more than anything else is what happens here right before bed. That's really the key thing. So what we know is melatonin is a hormone that really does react to light, especially blue frequency light is the big one. So the more light we have in these couple of hours before bed, the lower that melatonin level becomes, and the less likely we are to have this pattern. The other thing that will induce it is specific types of excitation within the autonomic nervous system, so your stress responses. So if you're exercising right before bed, that could potentially do this. Even sometimes intercourse, if it's physical enough, can create these type of patterns as well. And even eating late at night can activate that autonomic nervous system response and engage this pattern. But what we commonly see with people who have this is they get a very poor quality sleep, or a less quality sleep. And when they wake up, they tend to often wake up quite groggy and quite flat, and it does tend to take them a little bit of time to get going. The other thing that we tend to see with this as well is that these people, because of the autonomic nervous system goes with it, these are the ones that tend to be predisposed to a lot of different stress-related disorders. It's the change in the autonomic nervous system that drives this. So if you're seeing this pattern, really what we need to look at is not so much what's happening overnight, although there are things that influence it, things like sleep apnea and body position, so on and so forth. But the big thing we really want to look at is what's happening in that 2-hour block before bed. So here's a few key things that you can do straight away. Number one, which is the most important, is make sure you reduce activity at night. Exercise earlier in the day, reduce the activity at night. The reduction in activity at night will help stop this process from occurring. Second one is eat earlier. So when you consume food, we're going to stimulate the autonomic nervous system, which seems to play an effect in this pattern as well. So we want to eat earlier. The general rule that we've seen over the years is to make sure that you finish dinner at least 2 hours prior to going to bed. So that's one big thing, preferably 3 if possible. Next one is reduce tech use. So that blue flashing bright light you get from laptops, from tablets, from phones, the vertical scrolling, all this has the effect of winding up the sympathetic nervous system and reducing melatonin production. So this can have a huge effect on this pattern. And the other one, which is a really easy one, is soft lighting at night. Make sure you're using warm lights at night. Don't use cool white lights or daylight. We don't want that blue tinge in the light that's around you as you're trying to wind down and get your melatonin levels up at night. All right, so there's a few quick little things. This you can measure off, as I said, any kind of smart device that you can wear, whether it be your Galaxy Watches, iWatches, Oura Rings, Whoops. All these will give you this kind of data. Very easy to obtain. There are some other devices, even some of your sports watches will do that for you as well. And a simple thing, and if you look at every morning at your data over a few weeks, what you'll find is that you start noticing patterns. When I did this on that night, this happens, etc., etc. And you'll start working out for yourself how late you can go with food before it starts affecting you, how late you can go with your exercise patterns, how much stimulation you can get with your phone before bed, things like that, to make sure that we have a smiley face overnight and not a downward slope. Anyway guys, if you have any questions with that at all, you want to know more about how to use your smart device, please like our page, send me a message, post up, whatever you'd like. Always happy to help you in any way, shape or form that we can. Speak soon.